Hey friends, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Courtney, and on this channel I have been documenting my weight loss journey using the medication Mounjaro. A lot of things have gone on with that, so check out some of my previous videos to get caught up. Long story short, I am currently not using Mounjaro, but I am currently using Ozempic. So, yeah, my last video, I talked about how I went to my doctor's office and we were trying to discuss a backup plan, being that my insurance has denied the Mounjaro, and I still have a box of the 5 milligram, which I'm waiting to use, but she gave me an entire pen. Do not be afraid to ask your doctors for samples. I did. I was like, you know what, I wasn't going to do it, but I'm just going to do it. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to get, until we could see what's going on with your appeal and everything else, because I had 2 prior authorizations that were denied. So she gave me an entire pen of Ozempic, and it's actually, it is the, let's see, it is a 4 milligram pen. So the entire pen has 4 milligrams of medicine, and so you would typically do 4 1 milligram doses, but she wanted me to do a half, like 0.5. So she, turned the little dial here until it got to pretty much I think it's 36 clicks. You have to count the clicks. There's actually a chart floating around the internet about how to dose based on the clicks, but it was 36 clicks to 0.5, and she basically, it's 2 months. It's literally 8 weeks worth of Ozempic. So thank you, doctor. She is so wonderful. So anyway, that is kind of what I wanted to talk about and update in this video. And I kind of want to talk about like the differences like in the pens and stuff like that, because I know most of you probably know the differences between the Mounjaro or the Ozempic pen, but some of you may not. And so I just kind of wanted to go over that. I have an old Mounjaro pen that I used my very last 2.5. And my doctor put me on the 0.5 of the Ozempic because she said that it was comparable to the strength of the 2.5 of the Mounjaro. And the 2.5 has actually, I know it's a loading dose, but I guess my body is very sensitive, and so it has been working. The 2.5 has been working amazing for me. I currently, this is day 37 since I started Mounjaro. I'm currently down another couple pounds from the last video. I'm down like 22 pounds. So I'm really excited about that. I did want to talk about, and this is not a side effect from the Ozempic, because I literally just injected that like night before last, like at 11:30. So it's been not even 48 hours yet since I've had it, and I've been experiencing some constipation. I know that's putting it out there, a little TMI, but I mean, if you are, if you're looking for information about it, or if you're already taking it, then if you know, you know. So prior to that, I was having pretty much the opposite. Not chronic. I wasn't having like chronic loose stools, but it was pretty much like once every 2 days. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. That's what was happening. So I didn't think that it was like, something that I needed to be insanely worried about. Like, oh, I'm going to be so dehydrated, because I've been very diligent about my water and electrolytes. So, I have not been, I don't think I've been dehydrated from that. And like I said, it wasn't, I don't want to get into it. It wasn't something that was worrisome. Okay. I've had way worse, with like a stomach flu and stuff. And so I'm not, not worried about that, but it literally went from one extreme to the next. And so I've been currently, sporting a, big old water jug that has like water, electrolytes, and Miralax. Taking that a couple times a day. I have taken magnesium. I bought some like stool softeners and some fiber, but I'm kind of holding off on the fiber just because now I've heard that a lot of that like bulks it all up, and so maybe it's not the best thing to do. So what I'm going to do is just hold off on that until things are a little bit more regulated. So anyway, that is definitely not a side effect from the Ozempic, because that actually pretty much kind of started like before I started taking it. So anyway, so that is that. I did want to report, since I have been past a week of taking the Mounjaro, and I'm pretty sure because, like I said, I was at a 2.5 dose, so it was really low, and so the half life of it, I believe, is at like 5 days, and so after 5 days, it's like having half of a dose, until it's completely gone, and so so I have not had any more eye twitching, which is something. So it had actually gotten to where in the beginning it was like a couple of times a day I would notice that my eye would be just kind of like up here and then down here, and it was like it'd freak me out a little bit, and I just something I laughed about, but it had gotten to where it was happening about 5 or 6 times a day minimum. So but I have not had that in probably the past like 3 or 4 days. So interesting. I have heard other people say that they had eye twitches while they were taking the Mounjaro. So maybe it's just like one of these like little side effects or something that that some people are having, but it's really not a big deal. So how I'm feeling on Ozempic. I took my injection Friday night. It was very different, and it was a little harder mentally for me to take that injection, because if you know, the Mounjaro pen is just something you put up against you, and then when you push the button the needle goes in. It's not so with the Ozempic. Like, you actually have to physically put the needle in your body, and that took a whole lot more of like mental, I had to build myself up for that. And I was just like, it's super tiny, and so many people are like, oh, I don't even feel it and stuff. And so I was just like, oh, just do it. So I did it. I didn't even feel it. I just did not even feel it. And I was like, holy crap. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how tiny the needle is. It's so tiny. So anyway, if I wanted to just kind of show you the comparison of the two pens, I have them here. Like I said, this is an old, like my last 2.5 of my Mounjaro. Oops, upside down. My Mounjaro pen. Okay, so like if you're on Mounjaro, I know you know how to do it and everything, but people who are just kind of like looking or interested, I'm just going to do a small little comparison. So you have a cap that you have to take off, okay, and the needle is inside. I don't know if you can, you can kind of see it right there. It's a little bitty, but what you do is you put this up against your skin where you're going to inject it, and then you unlock it. There's like a little lock mechanism here, and once it's unlocked and you use it, you can't flip it back. So but it's normally in the lock position. You place it where it needs to go, you unlock it, and then you press the button, okay? And then it injects, shoots the medicine out, and retracts. You'll hear like 2 clicks. The first one of the injection going in, and then the second click is when it's finished and the needle retracts. Okay, so much easier mentally if you are a little needle weenie like I am, because you don't see it, like, unless you're just like, oh, I just want to look at it, you don't see it, okay? And so it was just a whole lot easier mentally that I didn't have to see it beforehand. And it's a little bit different with the Ozempic pen. And I was like, oh my God, but it's the tiniest thing ever. So this is the, like I said, this is the Ozempic pen. And then what you would do is you take the cap off, and you can actually see the medicine that's in here. This one is not a single use like the Mounjaro. This one it's a multi-dose thing, and you have to keep changing out the needles. And this uses, I'm actually going to put the cap back on that for just a second. But what you do, and this is one of, it comes with 4, if I can open it, it comes with 4 of these pin needles. I, of course, used one Friday night. And I'm not going to open any of those. I'm just going to show you on, I actually bought some extras because it only comes with 4 and I need 4 more because it's 8 weeks worth. I ran to Walmart pharmacy and just grabbed a box of 50 of these. It was like $9.99. So, this will last forever. In fact, I'm probably not even going to use, you know, I'm going to have to probably give that to somebody. So, anyway, but what you would do is, you would, you would take the little tab, there's like a little tab that closes it here, okay? And if you will notice, I don't know if it's gonna, if you'll notice there's a tiny little needle right in there. That is what goes into, it goes right into there. I'm not going to touch it, but it goes right into there, and that, and you screw it on. So it sticks the needle into here to, for the medicine to be drawn out. Well, I guess I'll just put it on, but I'll just take it right off. So anyway, you would screw it on, but now, okay, you take that cap off. It just fell off, but you take that cap off, but there is one more little cap that you have to take off. Take that one there. Look how tiny. Let me see if I can. Do you see how tiny that thing is? I was so terrified, but it was so tiny, teeny tiny. And so anyway, I am going to carefully place that back, the little lid. Put it back on there. I'm actually going to just dispose of this one into where I have the rest of my sharps. So anyway, I'm going to unscrew that. But anyway, what you do after you put that on is you dial to the dose that you are going to inject. And what you do is you actually get it to where you can see the number. You want to put it in where you can see the number. You actually put it in your skin. I'm not going to, you know, it's covered. So you put it in your skin and you actually press the button and you hold the button down until that number goes all the way back to 0. And that is how you use the Ozempic. And a lot of people, after it goes back to 0, they'll count to like 6, 10, something like that before they actually will, before they'll actually pull it off. So, yeah, so that is the difference in that. And I mean, can you see how I was a little nervous? I was just like, okay, I'm actually seeing the needle and I actually have to put it in there. I swear to goodness, I could not feel a single thing, like nothing. And so anyway, I did it before bed because I always did my Mounjaro before bed, just in case I was going to have any like side effects or anything like that. Oh, I did pick up some Dramamine because a lot of people just really said, you know, through a lot of like groups and stuff I'm in, a lot of people were like, oh, Ozempic made me nauseous. And I was like, no, we're just going to cut that off at the pass. And so I ran to the store and got some Dramamine, and I took some of that about 30 minutes before, just in case. But, and it was the less drowsy kind, but I also took some melatonin like before. And so anyway, I went right to sleep and I slept like a baby. Okay. So, yeah, so no problems there. As far as how I feel on it, I actually have great like appetite control, just like I did with the Mounjaro. I was just very indifferent to like foods. So this was, yeah, Friday night. So yesterday, as far as like what I ate, I always have coffee in the morning. I have coffee, a little bit of creamer in the morning. And then I had for lunch, I think I got just like busy doing some stuff around the house because there's always something to do around here. And so, So I had for lunch, I ended up having kind of like a like cold cut type, meat and cheese, like little snack or whatever. I wasn't super duper hungry, but I knew I needed to eat. And so I got like two like big deli slices of ham, and I rolled a little bit of, I had like these like light cheese sticks or like string cheese. I got them at Aldi. They have like a light version, so I got it. And I just peeled it into a whole bunch of like little stringy pieces, and with like each little thing of meat, I just rolled a little piece up in there and I ate that. So I had like two of like large pieces, thin sliced ham, deli ham. I had a few, and I had about 4 or 5 like slices of salami. Y'all, I love me some salami. So anyway, so I had that. And what else did I don't think I ate anything else, but I mean, it was like, the ham was, I don't know, it wasn't super duper thin. It wasn't crazy thick, but I mean, I ate that, and I was full, and that was enough for me. And so, I went ahead and, did the rest of the stuff that I needed to do. And what I made for dinner, we just kind of wanted to do something like easy for dinner. And so I boiled like 8 eggs. And then I peeled them all, and I made like chicken salad with like the canned chicken. I had like 2 of like the large cans. I live with like 4 guys, and so, or not 4, I live with 3 guys. Sometimes it feels like living with 4, but like my husband and my 2 sons, and they're big and they eat tons, and so I have to, I gotta fix a lot of food. So yeah, so I did the eggs and the canned chicken and some sweet relish, a little bit of mayonnaise, a big squirt of Dijon mustard, and mixed that all up. And we just had like chicken salad sandwiches. They had theirs on sandwich bread, but I use those Joseph's heart healthy pitas that you can get from Walmart on the bread aisle. And they are low carb and they're really low calorie. So and I just use one of those. And that is what I ate for dinner. And then as far as snacks yesterday, I had a yogurt with some fruit. I had an enlightened mint chip bar, like on the stick, those are so good. It's only like 90 calories, but they are phenomenal. And then I had like a protein shake before bed. I always like to have like a protein shake before bed. Just that way I can kind of gauge, how much more protein I need for the day. And so I'll just make a shake and, fill it in. And that way I get, all the protein I need for the day. And so today was kind of the same thing, except I was busy. I didn't even eat until like 2:30, and I was like, I really need to eat something. So I came in and had pretty much the same thing with like the meat and the cheese, and I actually added some pepperoni this time because I had some deli pepperoni. It was actually kind of like thick slice, so I had a few pieces of that with my string cheese, and yeah. And so come like 4 o'clock, I'm like, looking at my carb manager, and I'm like, I only have like 340 calories for today. And so my husband mentioned going to eat like tacos or something. And at this point, I'm just kind of like, maybe I need something a little greasy to kind of help things get moving. So I was like, let's go eat some tacos. Well, we went to this amazing Mexican restaurant around the corner from us, and I had birria tacos. If you've never had birria tacos, please look that up and go get you. Oh my God. Oh Lord, they're so good. And so anyway, I had 3 birria tacos, and they're not huge. They're not, they're about like this. I don't know. They're not very big. It also came with like rice and beans, but I didn't eat that because after the 3 tacos, I was like done. I was like, oh my God, I'm so full. So, yeah, so I had that, and according to my carb manager, even with like what I ate earlier today, plus the birria tacos, I'm still at like 1,200 calories. I don't know how, but like I was like, no, it's got to be more calories than that. I'm like flipping through my carb manager, and I'm like, 800 calories, maybe it's, that's probably what I had. So, just based on like what was in it and everything. It didn't have any cheese or anything like that. It was literally just like meat. It was like seasoned meat, and I threw like some onions and cilantro in with it, and then like these small like flour tortillas. I mean, they're really, little, and they're folded over. So yeah, it was just really good. And so, it's okay every once in a while if you want to indulge on something like that. If you like completely cut out some foods, that you absolutely love, then, it's going to be really hard to like maintain, like, every once in a while, not all the time. And literally, I've lost 22 pounds. So I'm like, 3 tacos. It's not going to derail me, and tomorrow's a whole new day, and I can kind of get back on whatever. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to just come on here and update basically how I felt on the Ozempic. Feeling great so far. Have good, good appetite control. Not really any food noise. I'm just kind of indifferent to it all. I do have an update on my appeal. I got a phone call today that was automated. I guess they can't even like get a person to call you, but my appeal was denied. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait on. I'm supposed to get something in the mail, just to kind of go over like next steps, because I think the next step is like an external appeal, which I'm gonna give it a shot and see. What happens. But after that, I think there's some other things that I can move on to, and I'm okay with that. But I'll just update on what is going on. I'm a little sad, but I just, in my heart, I just kind of knew that was going to happen, and I sort of prepared myself for that. So I'm not as upset. I'm seeing that there are some other options out there. So so I'm going to kind of look at some of those. But yeah, that's for another video. But anyway, just wanted to let you know that Ozempic is doing well so far. And so yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.